Morani. The very name stirs something deep within anyone who has ever set foot on the endless plains of the Maasai Mara. To the people who call this land home, and to the travelers who journey from far and wide, Morani is more than just a lion, he is a living legend, a symbol of the wild heart of Africa. His name is whispered in awe by Maasai guides and wildlife enthusiasts alike, passed from one generation to the next as a tale of strength and survival. Even the wind seems to carry his story, rustling through the tall grasses as if repeating his name in reverence. The very air of the Mara seems to hum with his legend. At dawn, as the first golden rays break over the horizon, the savannah comes alive with the promise of another day under Morani's watchful gaze. His presence is felt even when he's unseen, a silent guardian of this vast wilderness. He was the king, the undisputed ruler of the Maasai Mara. From his elevated vantage points, Morani would survey his kingdom, his gaze sweeping across the rolling grasslands, acacia trees, and distant herds. No other lion dared challenge his authority, for his reputation was as formidable as his strength. His roar, a deep rumble that echoed across the savannah, spoke of power and majesty. It was a sound that sent shivers through the hearts of rivals and inspired awe in all who heard it. When Morani roared, the world seemed to pause, as if nature itself was listening to its king. Morani was the embodiment of a lion king. Every movement he made was filled with purpose and dignity. He strode through the grasslands with a confidence that came from years of survival, battles fought and victories won. His very presence demanded respect from all creatures, great and small. A thick golden mane framed his face, a crown worn with pride. The sunlight would catch in his mane, turning it into a halo of gold that set him apart from every other lion. It was a mane earned through years of struggle, a testament to his resilience and dominance. His eyes, sharp and intelligent, held the wisdom of countless hunts and battles. In their depths, one could glimpse the stories of the Mara itself, of life and death, of the eternal dance between predator and prey. Morani's gaze was both fierce and contemplative, as if he understood the delicate balance of his world. He moved with a quiet confidence, each step measured and deliberate. Whether stalking through the tall grass or resting in the shade, Morani's movements were a masterclass in grace and power. He was a creature perfectly adapted to his environment, blending strength with agility. Every step exuded power, every glance commanded respect. When Morani paused, muscles tensed and eyes fixed on the horizon, it was as if the entire savannah held its breath. His mere presence could change the course of a day for every animal in his domain. Morani was not just a lion. He was a force of nature. He embodied the spirit of the Maasai Mara, untamed, majestic, and eternal. In his story, we find the story of the wild itself, beautiful, fierce, and forever free. Morani belonged to the Marsh Pride, a famous group of lions known for their strength and resilience. They ruled a large territory, their lives a constant struggle for survival in the harsh African wilderness. Within the pride, Morani was a leader. He led hunts with strategic brilliance. His strength was unmatched. No prey could outrun him. No enemy could withstand his fury. Morani was more than just a hunter. He was a protector. He kept the pride safe from hyenas and other lions. He was a father figure guiding the younger generation. The plains of the Mara were Morani's hunting grounds. Here, his instincts were sharpest. His senses were perfectly tuned to the rhythm of the wild. He would stalk through the tall grass, a silent shadow. His prey wouldn't even know he was there. A quick burst of speed and the hunt would be over. Morani was a master of his domain. He knew every watering hole, every patch of shade. The Mara was his kingdom and he ruled it with unwavering authority. Time, as it always does, began to catch up with Morani. His once youthful energy waned. Younger, stronger males started to challenge his authority. These young rivals were eager to prove themselves. They craved the power and prestige that came with being the leader of the pride. Their eyes burned with ambition. The balance of power began to shift. The savannah, once Morani's undisputed domain, became a battleground for dominance. The old king was being tested. One day the tension erupted. A group of 4 young males, their manes thick and dark, decided to make their move on Morani. The The savannah echoed with the sounds of their roars. Morani, despite his age, stood his ground. He was outnumbered but not outmatched. He fought with the ferocity of a cornered lion, his roars shaking the ground. The battle raged. Dust flew, claws flashed, and the air filled with the sounds of snarling and roaring. It was a clash of generations, a fight for the future of the Marsh pride. Morani fought valiantly, but the odds were against him. The younger, more agile males landed blow after blow. Still, Morani refused to back down. He fought until he could fight no more. Exhausted and wounded, he finally yielded the battlefield to the younger generation. It was a defeat, but a noble one. Despite his injuries, Morani's spirit remained unbroken. He had fought bravely, protecting his pride until his last breath. He had embodied the true spirit of a warrior. The battle had taken its toll on Morani. He was left with deep wounds, his body scarred and broken. Yet he still carried himself with dignity and pride. Each scar told a story. They were a testament to his strength, his resilience, and his unwavering commitment to his pride. They were the marks of a true leader. Morani, even in defeat, remained a symbol of resilience. He showed the younger lions the true meaning of courage and sacrifice. He became a legend whispered on the wind. Morani's wounds, though severe, began to heal. The deep gashes along his flank slowly closed, and the pain that once racked his body dulled to a distant ache. Each day the old lion summoned what strength he had left to rise with the sun. Determined to face another day in the wild expanse he called home. The scars he bore were a testament to the countless battles he had fought, each one a story etched into his golden hide. Yet even as his body mended, the toll of his last great fight lingered. But the battle had sapped his strength. Morani moved with a heavy weariness, his once powerful stride now slow and deliberate. The muscles that had carried him across the savannah for years trembled beneath his weight. Every step was a reminder of the price he had paid to defend his territory and his pride. The younger lions watched him with a mixture of awe and concern, sensing the change in their leader. The mighty king, who had once ruled with unmatched vigor, was now a shadow of his former self, his energy fading with each passing day. The old lion was fading, his roars becoming weaker with each passing day. Where once his voice had echoed across the plains, now it barely carried beyond the tall grass. The pride grew quiet, gathering close to him in the evenings, as if to draw comfort from his presence while they still could. Morani spent more time resting, his breath slow and labored, his eyes reflecting the wisdom and sorrow of a lifetime spent as king. The savannah seemed to sense his decline, the air heavy with anticipation and respect for the aging monarch. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Morani breathed his last. The world seemed to pause in that moment, the colors of dusk lingering a little longer as if to honor the passing of a legend. The gentle breeze carried the last echoes of his spirit across the grasslands, and the stars began to appear, twinkling above the place where he lay. It was a peaceful end, befitting a king who had given everything to his land and his pride. He died peacefully, surrounded by the sounds of the savannah he had ruled for so long. The distant calls of birds, the rustle of the wind through the grass, and the soft footsteps of his pride were the final lullabies that accompanied him into the night. For years, Morani had been the heart of this land. His presence felt in every corner of the territory. Now, as the night deepened, the savannah mourned its king, even as it celebrated the life he had lived. His passing marked the end of an era. The dawn that followed was quieter, the air tinged with a sense of loss. The pride moved cautiously through their home, their leader gone, but his memory lingering in every shadow and every whisper of the wind. The land itself seemed to remember Morani, the grass where he once lay pressed flat, his footprints slowly fading with the morning dew. The balance of the savannah had shifted, and a new chapter was about to begin. The king was dead, but his legend would live on, inspiring generations of lions to come. The young cubs who had watched him from the safety of their mothers' sides now looked to the horizon with newfound determination. Stories of Morani's courage and wisdom would be told around the fire for years, shaping the hearts and minds of those who would one day lead. His legacy was not just in the land he defended, but in the spirit he left behind, a spirit of resilience, leadership, and unyielding pride. Morani's spirit continued to roam the savannah. In the golden light of dawn and the cool hush of twilight, his presence could still be felt, a silent guardian watching over his pride and his home. The savannah would never forget its king, and as long as lions walked these lands, Morani's story would live on, echoing through the grasslands with every sunrise and every sunset. Morani's story is a poignant reminder of the brutal cycle of life and death in the wild. In the vast, untamed plains of Africa, every sunrise brings with it new challenges and opportunities, and every sunset marks the end of another day in the relentless struggle for survival. For Morani, the savannah was both home and battlefield, a place where strength, cunning, and courage were tested daily. His journey was not just about dominance, but about the delicate balance that sustains the ecosystem, where every creature, from the smallest insect to the mightiest predator, plays a vital role. He was a magnificent creature who lived and died by the sword, or rather by tooth and claw. Morani's reign was marked by fierce battles and hard-won victories, each scar on his body telling a story of survival and resilience. He defended his pride with unwavering determination, facing off against rivals and threats that would have broken lesser lions. His presence commanded respect, not just from his own pride, but from all who roamed the grasslands. The echoes of his roars would ripple across the plains, a warning to intruders and a rallying cry for his family. His legacy lived on in the Marsh pride. The pride, once under his protection, continued to thrive, drawing strength from the foundation he had built. The bonds he forged among the lions, between mothers and cubs, brothers and sisters, remained strong, a testament to his leadership. Even in his absence, the pride remembered his lessons, the importance of unity, the necessity of vigilance, and the value of courage in the face of adversity. The cubs who once played at his feet grew into formidable lions themselves, shaped by the example he set. The young males who had defeated him now led the pride, carrying within them the lessons they had learned from their predecessor. Their rise to power was not just a result of strength, but of wisdom gained from watching Morani's every move. They learned that true leadership is not about ruling with fear, but about guiding with purpose and protecting those who depend on you. As they patrolled the territory, their eyes scanned the horizon for danger, just as Morani had done before them. The cycle of life continued, with new leaders stepping forward, shaped by the legacy of those who came before. Morani's story is a testament to the power of courage, resilience, and the unwavering spirit that resides within us all. His life reminds us that greatness is not measured by how long we reign, but by the impact we leave behind. In the wild, as in life, challenges are inevitable, but it is our response to them that defines our legacy. Morani faced every trial with dignity and strength, inspiring those around him to do the same. His memory lives on, not just in the pride, but in the very heart of the savannah. He may be gone, but he will never be forgotten. The tracks he left behind are etched into the earth, a silent reminder of a life well lived. As the sun sets over the grasslands and the night air fills with the distant calls of lions, Morani's spirit lingers, an enduring symbol of strength, leadership, and the eternal cycle of life in the wild.